Okay, guys, so let's move ahead from where we left in the last video. So now we're moving on to our chapter 3, which is elementary concept of objects and classes in Java. A little theory, a little practical we'll do in this video, right? So now first understanding objects and classes. Now, by this time you would have an idea of what is object and what are classes, right? Let's let's have a recap. Objects and classes are fundamental concepts in object-oriented programming. If you break them down, what is object? Object is a thing or entity that has characteristics and attributes and behavior. So when we say characteristics, that is attributes, what we mean program wise is variables. All right. We mean variables like color of a pen, like size of the pen. And when we say behavior, methods, we need the functions. Like in the example of the pen, like write was a function. Okay. So this is the way we can break any object into with these two things. Now, for example, a bicycle can be considered as an object. It has a characteristic like color, size, and type. And type means mountain bike or the normal bike. It also has a behavior like start, stop, and pedal, right? Then a class is like a blueprint, as you already know, or a template for creating object. It defines what attributes and methods and objects created from it will have. It's the objects which will be created from it, what they will look like, how they will behave like. That's what a class do. It's a blueprint, right? For example, you can have a class called bicycle. This class will define the characteristics like color, size, and behavior that every bicycle object will have. Okay, and from that bicycle class, you can have bicycles of different makes like BSA, like all other BMW, whatever bicycle brands you have, all those we are talking about, right? Okay, so let's go ahead further. Let's clear the screen first. Okay, so we are done with this definition of objects and the class, and then now let's think of a class as a. This is a good example. Think of a class as a cookie cutter and objects as the cookies made from it. So the cookie cutter class shapes the cookies all in the same way. Like you have a loaf of the thing from which you create a cookie. I am not sure what are the ingredients and what are the stuffs. Suppose this is that loaf. It's kind of a bread loaf kind of thing. Okay, and your cookie cutters have the star shapes. Okay, of a particular diameter of a particular dimension. So when you create a first cookie out of this, so this is a class, right? Class means it will have some properties, the taste, the how much sugar is there, how much vitamins and other things if there will be there. So that all is here. And now this is the cutter, right? You use this cutter, you press it over here, and one cookie comes out. When you use this again, press it over here, and of the remaining loaf, and the other cookie comes out. So this way you can create. You are creating different cookies using this thing. So this is an object. So every cookie has the same size, same dimensions, but all of them have the same properties. And what is that property? The property like the taste, the color, the crunchiness of that particular loaf. Now, by this time, you have a clear idea of what is a class, what is an object. Okay, let's take a practical example of it. Now, the practical example is here we have defined a class called bicycle. Let me just move a little up. Yeah, bicycle. And what are the properties of bicycle? The properties for bicycle are color and size. So we've taken two variables here. String means it is the data type. In the next topic, values in data types, I'm going to cover the data types. So color and size, that means what is the name of the color, what is the size. Both we are taking in a string, in non-numeric form, right? So public, then we have a method bicycle, all right? Now what this is doing, this is just storing the data which is given from user. This data is given from user and it's storing them into these particular variable color and size. When we say this dot color and this dot size means we are referring to this, the one which belongs to the class, and this color and size given by the user. So these are different variables. All the names are same, color and size and color and size, but these are different variables which is given by the user, which is sent here. And now from that variable, you're actually storing it to the this variable, right? We just cannot write color equals to color, because if you do that, there will be a confusion that which color you're talking about. Are you talking about this color or are you talking about this color, right? So to refer to these colors, the class variables or properties, we put the keyword this, right? We'll do that in detail for when we require it. Then we have a function called star. There, right now we are just printing the bicycle is starting. It's just a message to see that it's working or not. Then we have stop. It says the bicycle is stopping, right? And then we have a main code, a main function. The main function, as I told you when we were doing the classes, that it's like a hall, the drawing room of your building, of your room or flat or your house, from where the process starts. So everyone who enters your house goes to the drawing room, and then, as per you, you take it to the whatever places you want to show to them. So when you so this is again a function to the drawing room. These are again different rooms. So every method is like a room, right? So from the drawing room, it is decided that the control will shift to which method, okay, on the basis of you. You as a programmer will give the rights, which function to run, which function not to run, which method to run, which method not to run, which method to go, which method not to go. So here, what we are doing, we have to first create an object. Okay, you have a see the definition of a class here. Now you have to create an object of that class. Now you are creating an object by two objects, either bike one and bike two. So bike one and bike two are the two objects which belong to the bicycle class. So bicycle is a class and bike one, bike two are the two objects. And this is the way you create an object. The new operator actually allocates memory. So this is the syntax. This is the way you have to create it. It allocates memory. Okay. And now when you're creating an object, you are specifying that what will be the color of that bicycle and what will be the size of the bicycle, medium, large, or small. Okay. Then you created, so first you created an object of a bicycle class by the name bike1, which is red in color and medium in size. Then you created another bike2, which is blue in color and large in size. So you created two objects, right? And then you use these objects to call the methods. Okay. So you just use that bike1 dot start. So it will print a message, the bicycle is starting. It's saying that the bike one is starting, the red bike is starting. Then you said bike two dot stop. It will show the message bike stopping or bicycle stopping. So this will mean that bike two is stopping. This was just an example, all right? So this is the way the class of an object, you can link it to the coding. Okay, let's see uh, with another example. Okay, so let me just go through again all these things which are there in the example, although I already explained you. So in this example, bicycle is a class that has two attributes, color and size, and two methods, start and stop. Bike one and bike two are objects created from the bicycle class. Each object has its own color and size. Now class is a factory for objects. Now as you can see that from the same class you created two objects. So this way you can create many objects. You can create 100,000 of objects. So basically, we can also call a class as a factory of objects. Using the same class, you can create many objects. When you create a new object from a class, like class, in the bike example, you have created the bike one and bike two from the bicycle class. So it's like a class factory making new items. Each item produced by the factory is similar but have different values for its attributes. Similar now, in this example, the previous example which we have just discussed, what is similarity? The similarity is they belong to bicycle. So bicycle will have two wheels, one handle, one seat, right? And what are the different part of it? The different part of it is it has different colors. The bike one is of red color and bike two is of blue color. Size is different, right? So that's why it works. Now, class as object factor we have already discussed. Now, objects encapsulate states and behavior. Now, object encapsulates so state, the attribute that holds data, for example, the color and size of the bicycle, right? So this is the state of that bicycle. Means bicycle looks in which state. The color and the size tells you about that. Behavior, the methods that define the object uh, is shows you the behavior of that particular object. Okay, so state is the variables and behavior are the methods. or characters or characteristics are the variables and here are the methods. Okay. Now we also say the class is a user-defined data type. Why it is a user-defined data type? Because you have created it. You created the class type. You can create a class whatever way you want to. So it's a user-defined data type, right? Let's take another example of a class. Over here, a class dog is there. So class dog. What are the properties of a dog? It will have a name. It will have a breed. Yeah. And then again, the similar way as I told you the previous example, these values, the name of the dog and the breed of the dog has been given by the user, and then it comes and gets stored into these variables, this dot breed and this dot name. And then you have a function like bark. So where it will say the name of the dog and the message barking. Now sit. The name of the dog is sitting. Right. So these are the methods. Now this will clear you, would have been cleared to you. And if you want me to run this, I'll run this. It's better actually if you check it by running the code, right? So I'll try to run the same code on BlueJ and then show you how it works. Let me just finish up with this program. So what is happening here now? Again, you have a main method. The main method, as I told you, is like a drawing room from where every process starts. Okay, so main method, you again create two objects like dog1 and dog2. To the first dog, the name you pass is Buddy and the breed is Golden Retriever, and the second dog, name is Max and it's a bulldog, right? And then you are using that objects to call the methods, right? The bark and the So just let me go through this. Same thing as I explained you, dog is a class with two attributes, a name and breed, and two methods park and set. Dog1 and dog2 are the objects created from the dog class with different names and breed. Okay, now let's summarize this. A class is a blueprint or template for creating objects. Objects and instance of a class represent an entity with attributes and behavior. Attributes, the characteristics like the variables, methods, the behavior like the functions, encapsulation, which covers them. Encapsulation property we already studied. So class actually encapsulates within it the behavior, the method, all things it's holding, all the information it is holding within itself. So that's called a that property is called encapsulation, right? The information like the dog name and the breed name you have given to the program, right? So a program at some location is holding it. So that's actually basically encapsulating it, right? Okay, now let's go to the BlueJ and show you how it works. Okay, so here is the BlueJ, and in the BlueJ, I have typed the same code. Now, here the code is written in a slightly different way because it's using two classes. One class ends here, and another class, public main, is created here. But to show the output to make you explain in a better way, I'll just use one class only. So I'll create one class, dog only, and what I'll do, I'll just remove this another class, and so that this particular function main goes into the first class. Okay, I'll remove this starting of the class and the ending of the previous class. So now it is merged together. Right now I'll run this. Okay. So now what I'm doing, let me just explain it first. What I'm doing here is what is done in the code is first I'm calling bark function with the dog1, right? And what does the bark function does? It just says that particular dog name is barking, and the first dog is Buddy. So it should say Buddy is barking. Okay. Then I'm calling the sit function with dog2. It should say that that particular dog is sitting, right? Also, I'm printing the message that is the name of the dog on the top of it, and here I'm printing the breed of the dog on the top of it. So it should show you these details also. Let me compile and run it. So when I click on the compile, it says no compile syntax error. I'll just quickly move on to the main part of it, and here it is. So I'll just run it. Okay, so when I run this particular program, I go right click on this, I go to the main, and then I just say okay. And it's going to give you the output. Let me show you the output screen. It says here Buddy, the name of the dog, Buddy. Buddy is barking. And the breed of the dog, bulldog, and it says Max. I'll just try to put the code and this thing parallel if I can. Yeah, I can. Yeah, so you'll observe here. Yeah, so this particular thing, this particular message system.out.print, this one. Because of this, this message is coming up here because I'm printing the dog name, buddy. And then because of this statement, this function runs up. Which function? The bark function. And because of that, this message coming up. Now, because of this particular statement, this message is coming because you're printing the breed of the dog. And this particular message is running the sit function. And what does the sit function does? Sit function is just printing the message, the name, whatever is stored in the name, and the message is sitting. All right. So let me just give you a very simple another example of it. Okay. So let me just start with it. Another example. So what I'll do is I'll just create another class here. Let me clear the screen. Okay. So I'll create another class like class student. Okay, now tell me what does a student will have? What property student will have? Property student will have a name, right? So string. String means alphabet. So string name, and let's take it string grades. Grade means which class it studies, like the Roman letters of 1, 2, 3, 1, 12, 11, all those things, right? And then I have a method like void. Okay, I'll create a method which will supply the property to this, which is all right. I can use a method to store it. So let's take a method student. And what is the student method? You will come to know later on. It's actually a constructor. And the string grade. Okay. And then I say uh, student. Then I say this dot name, as I have been doing in the previous program, this dot name equals to name, and this dot uh, grade equals to grade. Okay. Now I run a method. I create a method like study and play. So void study, and here it will say system dot out dot print. This is the statement which prints the message on the screen. The particular name is study. That particular student, whosoever name will be given, is studying, and then I make a play function called playing. And similarly, I'll just give this method. I'll copy this method, paste it here, and change the message is playing. Okay, now I created two methods and two variables. That properties are there. But what I need to create a main method, right? The method, the diagram of your structure from where the process will start. If you don't create a main method, you have to actually run this method, this study and playing again differently. That's kind of confusing for you right now. So take it as a that you need a main method to run every small thing. Okay. Now in the next video, I'm going to explain you each and everything why we're putting public, why we're putting arguments after discussing the variables and data types with you. So here I create an object of the class. The class name is student and student1, or I can say st1. That's the object name. Or I can say, yeah, st1 is fine. st1 equals to new student, and the student name is say Rohan, and he is in 11th grade. And then I create another object, student st2, student2, and the information I'll pass to the object is like name of the student, which is uh, and I'll do it. Okay, so I created two objects, Rohan and Rajat, grade 11 and grade 9, and now I'll use this object to call the method. So I'll first call the study because I'll say that Rohan is studying. Okay, and then I'll use the second object to call the playing method. I want to say that Rajat is playing. Okay, so now I compile and I'll go to the main screen to run this, and when I run this, I shall give it output, and the output should be on the output screen here. It says Rohan is studying on the display. All right. I hope this would have been clear to you with this example. More example like this we'll keep on doing as we move on to the questions part, right? So the next video we'll have values and data type where we will be discussing different types of data and all those small things. That would be, I believe, the last topic in theory, and then after that, most of the time we'll do coding. Okay. Okay. Take care. Bye bye. And please like, share, and subscribe because if you do so, then only I would be able to make more and more video of this series. Take care. Bye bye.